Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Michael from Hollowed Thrills back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a brief dive into what I think Hersheypark's next big move is as far as a bigger project or massive project that they could be working on in the next year. But before we get into that, please make sure that you're subscribed and have the bell notification turned on to get notified whenever I post a video. And also make sure that you're following both my Instagram and my Twitter, as the links for both of those are going to be down in the description. Now, let's start talking about this. Now, before we can look forward to the future, we have to go back to the past and find out what the most recent project is that Hersheypark has been working on. Now, the most recent project, which is now going to be opening in 2022, is the complete repainting and retheming of Sidewinder. Now, there is no current set in stone name for the new reimagined coaster, but there are a lot of rumors going around that is going to be themed to Jolly Ranchers. That nice new color on there is bound for a retheme, and I think that the Jolly Rancher theme for it makes sense for the colorway that they're going with. Now, that is an option on what we could possibly see in the future, is another coaster being rethemed and redone like that. Now, we also have to look at the most recent coasters that have opened. Now, the last coaster project that they had was Candemonium, which opened in July of 2020, and that was a B&M hyper coaster, which was a great addition to the park. Now, let's look at the option for retheming an existing attraction. Which attraction in the park do I think could benefit from a retheming or a reimagining of it and bring new life to the attraction? And there's one in particular that just is in my mind that the theming of it originally just did not really blend with me that well. It never really made sense for that section of the park and the name of it. But I think that this coaster in particular in the lineup could benefit greatly from a retheme and theme to a specific Hershey candy, and that would be Fahrenheit. Like I said, Fahrenheit, just the theme of it never really made sense to me. I mean, I know it's near the boardwalk, so it's like, ooh, some are fun, but it doesn't really fit the rest of the park, which is why I think they could retheme it, repaint it to a specific Hershey candy, whether it be go for a darker orange and a brown, and maybe do a Reese's Cup retheme for it, or we could go something bigger and we could do like a nice blue track with some silver supports, and we could do a Hershey Kiss retheme, which I think would be really cool. But these are all different possibilities as a way to bring new life to an existing attraction. Next, we should talk about new attractions. I know retheming is almost a guarantee that it could be coming in the near future, but let's talk about a new attraction. We just had a new one open in 2022. It's going to be 2 years old this year. But could we see the groundbreaking of a new attraction this year, whether it be a flat ride or, come on, let's be honest, a new coaster? Now, flat rides, I mean, a new flat ride coming this year is more than likely, but I want to focus on what coaster could be added to the lineup. Now, looking throughout the entirety of Hersheypark, I don't really see that many open areas where a new coaster could go in and not have to get rid of an existing attraction. And unfortunately, there's two coasters that have a massive plot of land that I think could be utilized a little bit better. One of them I'm more than happy to get rid of, and that would be Wildcat. The plot of land that Wildcat is sitting on is a decent sized area in the back of the park that could fit either a brand new like whole land with a smaller coaster layout in there, or two smaller coaster layouts, or one mammoth coaster in that area. But personally, out of those options to replace Wildcat, I think a multi-launch coaster like Pantheon or Copperhead Strike would be a great addition to the park, as a multi-launch coaster is not something that is currently available at the park. And seeing that both Pantheon and Copperhead Strike are Intamin manufactured, and most of the multi-launch coasters that have come out recently have been Intamin manufactured, it makes sense because there are 3 different coasters already in the park that are manufactured by Intamin, and there is a strong possibility that they could be going back to Intamin following a B&M just being installed a couple years ago. let's think about if Hershey doesn't want to tear down an existing attraction at this very point in time. Let's think about what they could do instead. Now, both of the wooden coasters that are in the back half of the park, being Wildcat and Lightning Racer, are made and manufactured by Great Coasters International. And there is a thought that I had that I've been having for many years about this ever since RMC introduced their hybrid coasters. I think either of these coasters would be a really good hybrid layout. Now, that being said, most of those hybrid coasters are done by Rocky Mountain Construction, which, yeah, you can't really do a Rocky Mountain Construction refurb on a GCI. That's where the little twist comes in, because at the very end of 2020, GCI did announce that they have created their own version of a hybrid steel track for wooden coasters for refurbishment or complete retracking. Now, with that announcement coming out so recently, there isn't any current hybrid coasters manufactured by GCI in the world. So this could be a good selling point for Hersheypark to bring something like this to the park and have the first of its kind GCI hybrid coaster. Now, I will say that GCI has worked on this hybrid steel track for the wooden coasters, as they have installed a little section of it on White Lightning down at Fun Spot Orlando, as it is a way to replace high stress sections of track to make them stronger, and it still works with their normal wooden track. Now, I do believe that out of the two coasters, if they were to make their very first ground up refurb on a complete redoing of the track for a wooden coaster, I think that the more likely of the two would be to do that to Wildcat, as redoing and retracking an entire dueling coaster is just too big of a project for a first project for that hybrid retracking. Now, Wildcat, on the other hand, they could do so much with that area, so much that layout. They could redo a whole bunch of stuff, and it allows them to rework that layout a little bit. If they were to retrack it, you could add more height, you could add some inversions, you could just make that coaster a lot smoother, a lot cooler, and really draw in people to that back half of the park. But overall, I think that Hersheypark has a lot of different options on what could be coming next to the park. Like I said, repainting, retheming is more than likely happening. A flat ride this year, more than likely happening. But some of the bigger projects, a multi-launch coaster could be coming in the future, or a complete retracking of one of the wooden coasters in the back of the park made by GCI, making it one of the first GCI hybrid coasters. That'd be something to really draw people to the park. I think any of these are up in the air if they could happen, but these are just all ideas. None of these are set in stone. None of these are big rumors. They're just thoughts, and nothing is really set in stone about any of these. Which brings me to my next point. With all of these thoughts and ideas, this leaves the horizon for big projects in the future for Hersheypark wide open, which leaves a lot of different possibilities on what could be coming next. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you drop a like and comment down below what you would like to see come to Hersheypark next. But as always, I'm Michael. This has been Hollowed Thrills. I'll see you guys next time.